Thank you for visiting our channel, Finding Kultur. Our topic today is Laozi on Daodejing and Neo-Daoism. I am Gutul, Gutul. For those who wish to know more detail about the topic, please consult the book Daodejing according to Laozi, available from Amazon.com. In addition to Laozi on Daodejing and Neo-Daoism, the Kultur series also include Buddha on Heart Sutra and Neo-Buddhism, God on the Bible and Neo-Theism, Plato on being and Neo-philosophy, and Kultur on meaning of life and Kultur on Kultur, a grand unifying theory of the universe and life. The Kultur series on the Finding Kultur channel will offer a new episode the second and the fourth Tuesdays of every month. In addition to what is Kultur, we'll also cover where is Kultur and who is Kultur, and from time to time we'll offer clues to these questions in the series. The next slide is one example. Here is one clue to help you to find Kultur. Many may say Kultur is too arrogant, too crazy, and too ignorant. How could Kultur self-proclaim to be Laozi, Buddha, and a God? Now that Kultur explained to you what is Kultur. According to physics and philosophy, the nature of substance is changing in form, which is called Buddha in Buddhism, Tao in Daoism, and God, the Holy Father, in monotheism. According to physics and philosophy, the nature of space is unchanging in nature, which is called the Buddha spirit in Buddhism, Da or Da Dao in Daoism, and Ghost, the Holy Spirit, in monotheism. Since the universe is made of substance and space, the nature of the universe is changing in form and unchanging in nature. Changing in form and unchanging in nature is called symmetry in physics, in mathematics, and in philosophy. It is also known as non-duality in philosophy and in religions. Specifically, in Buddhism, it's called Buddhahead. In Daoism, it's called Chang Dao. And in monotheism, it's called Godhead. So the universe is made of substance and space. However, a more important and a fundamental concept in physics, philosophy, and religion is that while the universe is made of substance and space, space and the substance are inseparable. So substance is space and is the universe. So all the names and the labels that you see on this slide in physics, in philosophy, in Buddhism, in Daoism, and theism, they all point to one thing, they all describe one thing, that is the nature of the universe. So, whenever and wherever you let go your duality, that is your bias, prejudice, and discrimination, and you treat others with non-dualistic empathy and sympathy, you are Buddha, you are God, and you are Laozi, and you live in the utmost, the highest joy, as if you are in nirvana or in heaven. Now let's come back to our topic today, which is Laozi on Daodejing and Neo-Daoism. Let's start with the first question. How did Laozi ride a cattle? Well, the answer is Laozi rides a cattle sideways. Why does Laozi ride a cattle sideways? He is trying to set example to show us that we should let go our dualistic thought of front or back, and we should let go our duality. In addition to our dualistic thought of front or back, Laozi in chapter 2 of Daodejing also tells us that we should also let go our dualistic thoughts of beautiful or ugly, good or evil, something or nothing, hard or easy, long or short, up or down, in sync or out of sync, before or after, and to linger or to leave. This slide shows Laozi Daodejing's chapter 2 in Chinese. The English translation is as follows. We all know that they so named beautiful or pure only because they is also so named ugly or blemish in our perception or thought. We all know that they is so named good or moral only because they is also so named evil or immoral in our perception or thought. Then there is also so named something only because there is also so named nothing in our intuition of substance and space. There is so named hard only because there is also so named easy in our perception. There is so named long only because there is also so named short in our sight sensation. There is so named up only because there is also so named down in our sight sensation. There is so named harmonious or in sync only because there is also so named inharmonious or out of sync in our sensation of sound. There is so named before only because there is also so named after in our intuition of time. This is why the sage acts without attachment and teaches without dogmas. Everything keeps coming to our heads as a name, a makeshift and impermanent name. The sage creates but does not possess, acts but does not attach, reaches top in life but does not linger. To the sage, there is no difference between not to linger and not to leave. This slide shows part of the world of our consciousness or knowledge. Our consciousness of time being as itself is before or after. All consciousness of space being as itself is nothing. All consciousness of substance being as itself is something. All consciousness of space and substance, or all consciousness of the universe being as itself, is something or nothing. All consciousness of sight being as itself is good or bad sight. All consciousness of sound being as itself is good or bad sound. All consciousness of scent being itself is good or bad smell. All consciousness of taste being as itself is good or bad taste. All consciousness of touch being as itself is good or bad touch. All these differential consciousness of ours has its origin in duality. So the nature of all consciousness of time, space, substance, sight, sound, scent, taste, and touch is duality. The world of all consciousness or knowledge also includes the following: all consciousness of causality, logic, mathematics, and science being as itself is always true or false. These are all physical consciousness. All metaphysical consciousness includes the following: all consciousness of life and death being as itself is life versus death. All consciousness of self and other being as itself is self versus other. All consciousness of like and dislike being as itself is like versus dislike. All consciousness of good and evil being as itself is good versus evil. And all consciousness of perfect and imperfect being as itself is perfect versus imperfect. All these dualistic thoughts of ours have their origin from our duality. So all these dualistic consciousness are ours, being in itself is duality. Our empathetic consciousness and our sympathetic consciousness, however, come from our non-dualistic heart, or our non-dualistic nature, or our non-duality, in which we set self equal to other. So, whenever and wherever you let go your duality, that is your bias, prejudice, and discrimination, and you treat others with non-dualistic empathy and sympathy, you are Buddha, you are God, and you are Laozi, and you live in the utmost, the highest joy, as if you are in nirvana or in heaven. This concludes this part of our topic on Laozi, on Daodejing and Neo-Daoism. Please come back to the second part, in which we will explain clearly and cleanly what Dao and Neo-Daoism are. See you then. Bye-bye.